Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Golden Sun. In the last part, we got here to the Altin Mines and now we're going to continue on. Now first off, coming up right here, I'm actually going to jump cut to the first room in this specific area of the mines. Because in the top left there was this door I didn't enter because if you came here earlier there was water blocking this path off. And quite obviously we need to finish this place off, so we need to come down here. Now this is one of the many one of the very few songs in the game I'm not very fond of. Why? Well, as you can plainly hear, it starts off very slow and like dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. It actually kind of reminds me of like a mix of a Hans Zimmer piece and one of the songs from Final Fantasy VII. And because the music restarts whenever you beat a random battle, it gets annoying to me. In fact, that's one of my pet peeves of RPGs. I like it when they continue the music onwards after a random battle, not when they completely restart it. Mind you, not many RPGs do that, so I'm left being a sad puppy. Now, well, this part of the song especially reminds me of Final Fantasy VII. Anyway, we got a chest, which is a Mimic. Mimic number 3 of the game has 579 HP, weak to fire, strong against wind. I don't know why I keep on saying the strength and weakness, because they're all the same when it comes to that. Has pretty much all the same abilities, debilitate, side drain, sleep, except for its 4th attack it has shine plasma, which I think is wind elemental. And for defeating this guy, we get a game ticket, which we won't be able to use for a while still, I know, but we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. Actually, we'll be getting there fairly soon, relatively. Alright. Honestly, though, a lot of the Mimics just tend to drag on, though I will admit, I don't like this Mimic design that much. I still think my favorite design of a Mimic goes to the Dragon Quest series, which is essentially just a treasure chest with a creature inside of it. And I don't like the way Final Fantasy does it, where it's just some random beasts that are bigger than the chest itself that are in the chest. Like, Final Fantasy IV, I think there was a couple, in the Feymark Cave, actually. There was, couple chests that had like full on like 3 Marlboros Marlboro is the cigarette, and I don't know how those all fit in there. Wasn't there also one that had like a dragon inside of it? Don't care how that works. Anyway, in order to continue on, we need to freeze this very obviously. So yeah, you use frost quite a bit in this game, but not enough where I would consider setting it to a shortcut. Because honestly, the way I look at shortcuts is, make sure you almost always have move on, because you're going to be using that a fair amount throughout the game, and then have whatever you think is best for the second slot. And my next new enemy is a Calamar. Calamars have 1 and 4 HP. Weak to fire, strong against water. They drop an elixir, which does nothing pretty much but cure some status ailments. They have an electric bite attack, but the biggest threat about them is that they can search for allies, which brings in more Calamars. Which is annoying, yes, but at the same time, you get more experience for that, so it kind of balances out. Because I'm that guy that rarely ever runs away from battles unless I'm, like, really tired for the day or just don't care. Like, there was a couple of battles I ran away from here because I just didn't feel like fighting more rat fighters. Because, here's the thing, this part's probably around 14.5 minutes. I haven't finished the editing process at this point because there's some random battles I think I forgot to edit out, so yeah, because the current time that's at is like 16:03. That doesn't seem right for how much I recorded. What was I saying? Oh, right. Yeah, I was saying the time earlier. I'm saying that because this part was originally around 38 minutes. About 14, 15, 16 of that is probably just random battles alone. Anyway, got a Dragon Shield there, which is a pretty good defensive upgrade, but it also makes you resist fire, which is pretty good. Unlike, I think it was Final Fantasy IV, where for some reason the Fire Shield made you weak to fire, but strong against ice. I forget if that was a translation error or not. Anyway, what you're actually supposed to do in order to get to the last living statue in this room is not enter a random battle. Instead, you're supposed to enter the slaughter on the far left and come up here and hit the switch. And once I do that, I'm actually going to be cutting back to the minecart just to save some minor time. Because, well, time saving. And over here is obviously our next living statue, but don't be like me and actually remember to unequip your Djinns so you can spam summons at this guy. And that's the last normal living statue. You get another vial for that. And now what I'm going to do... Well, actually, I forget if that's the last, but it's the last one for this area. Now I'm actually going to cut back outside to the lowest point in the village, which is now accessible. And I'm showing you off my equipment because I actually bought some stuff off the armor shop, which is now open. So I'd recommend going back, looking at my inventory, and seeing what I bought and compare it to the stuff in the store. I know I got, like, iron helms, iron circlets, and such for people. I don't have my exact shopping list up. Now, upcoming here, I actually get lost in this room, because that happens a lot. I need to go to the lower left corner of this room first to get a lucky medal. And now, I can continue on. Honestly, as you can see, I was right here. I just forgot to go left first. You know, sometimes that battle transition actually makes me jump very lightly, but like, oh, hello, kind of jump. Not like, ah! Anyway, this is a very simple puzzle. Just move this thing to the left and then use frost on the puddle so you can actually get a little pathway over there to where the minecart is. Actually, I just now realized that the ice sprite there is just a recolored version of the rock pillars. I don't know whether to call that lazy or genius. Anyway, if you're wondering why I'm taking damage, it's because Mia's poisoned, which isn't good. Luckily, by this point, she does have a cure poison Psyenergy. Anyway, I was dumb there for a bit because I forgot where to go. I just have to enter the minecart again so I can head over here and fight this djinn I forgot to talk about earlier. And I just spoiled that. It fights us. This mercury djinn, known as Spritz, has 361 HP, weak to fire, strong against water. Has your basic mercury elemental stuff. Drench, Frost Spear, Hail Prism, which I think is a new attack actually, Ice Horn Tundra, and as usual, the djinn can escape from battle. Honestly, just spam Ragnarok and Storm Ray at it, it'll go down rather easily, because honestly, that's probably the two most damaging Psyenergy you have at this point. I don't know whether or not to call that good or bad, because if it's only two, that's not that overpowered. And we got Spritz. Spritz is actually one of the best djinn in the game. I'm gonna just kind of say it's a he. He heals all the party for, I think, a percentage of their HP. I forget if it's a percentage or if it's an actual amount. And for setting it, Mia actually goes up a class to a cleric. Which is pretty good. Obviously, the more djinn you have, the better classes you get. As I've mentioned numerous times by this point. And now, before we continue on, there are two puddles that we want to use frost on so we can make a pathway. You know, I kind of like the way this game does dungeons with the Psyenergy, at least, because you're usually only using one per dungeon. Like this one likes to use frost a lot. I think the only Psyenergy that is used very consistently throughout all dungeons is move. I forget if that gets worse throughout the game, though, because it's been a while since I played this last, as I think I've mentioned a couple times. Now, very obviously, you can encounter random battles in pretty much every single one of these hallways. But it's nothing that bad. Though it still makes you jump a bit. And now we're actually in the room that we entered from. And let's see what's going on up here. Ooh, a sign. Watch for falling rocks, not strike the wall. Strike the wall? Okay. Well, that didn't seem to do much. Oh, God! Da 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 da. I actually forget if this song plays anywhere else in the game. Pretty good song though. Anyway, as we see, that boulder made a gigantic hole in the wall, floor. That's on a wall, and apparently there's something roaring down there. That's foreboding. Now, if you have low HP, I recommend exiting this place because we're right at the entrance. Because then you can just go use an inn, which is what I did actually. And now, for some reason, you can use this as a ladder. And I recommend at this point you take some time to set up. I recommend removing all of Garrett's gin. Why? Well, you'll see in a moment. This place looks like the... Whoa, that's a giant statue. Boss fight for this area is the Hydro statue. Pretty much a bigger and badder version of the living statues we've encountered before. 1300 HP, weak against fire, strong against water. Has Drenched, Frost Spear, Ice Horn. Can restore some of its HP. Has Tundra and a Water Blessing attack. I forget what that does. Obviously, it's resistant to water, so Mia doesn't do it does best to keep... let me restart the sentence. It's best to keep Mia with as many June as possible on standby, because that way she can use Wish, which is a Psyenergy she gained as a cleric, which cures the entire party. If you want to use Sleet or Mist, go ahead, but make sure you return them back, set them up to her again, so without summoning. Your main attackers should be Isaac and Garrett. Level 3 Mars summon like Tiamat should dispatch the guy here quickly, but Sybil can also do a nice amount of damage on the boss. All of his attacks are actually water-based, which means equipping the fur coat that I got earlier, which I think I've already sold by this point, is a good idea, even though it is quite a bit weaker than some of the armor I have now. But, honestly, nothing too bad. Other than looking incredibly threatening. Let's see, Water Blessing just does... Oh, it's bad damage. No, I really like this boss theme, but at the same time, it doesn't have that same kind of epic feel. Well, it feels foreboding, like you're fighting a real threat, like Final Fantasy IX's boss theme, actually. But one thing I actually look for in a boss theme is... like, a feeling of foreboding and threat, but also like the fact that you can take this thing down and kick ass at it. Like, I immediately think of Final Fantasy IV's boss theme, Final Fantasy VI's boss theme, 7's boss theme. I think Dragon Quest IX's boss theme did that for me. And, the Altin Mines games, especially. It's not that hard of a boss, honestly. Just keep an eye out on your HP, and you should do generally fine. But obviously, still try to do as much damage as possible. The one thing I don't like about this game is that it plays with my mind a little bit. Because, usually, like, this thing's weak against fire, but it's water elemental. So, generally, my Pokemon fan wants to go, oh, Thunder Attack. Oh, wait, there are no Thunder Attack. Well, actually, I say that, and then what happens? There's no Thunder Elemental spell. There we go. Because, even though it's lightning bolts, for some reason, lightning is counted as wind. Doesn't make much sense, but I'll take it anyway. And he's down. After beating him, we get a good amount of coins and a lucky medal. We did it, Isaac. We beat the last water beast. I wonder why Altin's guardian statues turned into monsters. Isn't it strange? Yeah, kind of. And what's up with this strange child room at the bottom of the mine? Yeah, it looks quite a bit like the Soul Sanctum. The guardian statues were created long, long ago. What are they for? Whoa, okay, that's a disintegration. There's a treasure chest behind the guardian statue. It must be all related to these ruins buried deep in the mine. I guess so. Hey Isaac, we should check that chest before we go. Alright. Let's see what it got. What it got, yes. And we got the lifting gem, which is another item that teaches the Psyenergy, teaches the lift Psyenergy. I'm gonna give it to Garrett, because he doesn't have many Psyenergy teaching items at this point. And now, because you have to backtrack all the way out of this place, I'm actually gonna cut out of there. Without a transition, apparently. Sorry about that. And now one thing I do want to show is that at the weapon shop, I bought Isaac and Garrett Claymores. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 15, we're gonna be going back into the mines for a very quick little thing, and then we're gonna be continuing on towards our next destination. See you guys then!